Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel Homeopathic Trials. Today we are going to study a remedy which again is an important polycrest remedy, which is nitric acid. This is again a very important and commonly prescribed medicine, and today we will study this remedy in detail. So without wasting much more time, let's begin. But before beginning, guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified about our content. So, nitric acid is a remedy which belongs to the acid group, and the chemical formula of this acid is HNO3. Thus, the major element of nitric acid is nitrogen, which belongs to row 2 and column 15 of the periodic table. And the main theme of nitrogen or nitrates in general is sudden dangers and a constant desire to get out of it. And being an acid, the main theme of the acids is complete exhaustion, and the main theme of this remedy is a desire to make constant efforts to get out of various sudden dangers felt by the person, and in turn getting exhausted by making constant efforts. So, keeping in mind this central theme of the remedy, we will try to have a glance at various other mental aspects of the remedy. So, the very first place, the main theme of sudden dangers makes the person very much anxious, and the anxieties of the person are seen in almost all parts of his life, including his work, health, relations, etc. But in nitric acid cases, we usually see that these people have tremendous anxieties related to health, and thus we find nitric acid as a three-marked remedy in the rubric anxiety health about. This anxiety is not only felt for their health, but they also tend to worry a lot about others' health. Now, and this anxiety in nitric acid is more pronounced regarding sudden diseases, where they fear that they shouldn't be diagnosed suddenly with any disease. Now, all these anxieties of nitric acid drives or fuels them to make constant efforts in order to avoid sudden dangers in life. Thus, in many nitric acid cases too, we see a strong desire to be a perfectionist in whatever they do, which in turn helps them to stay away from various dangers. Another important feature of nitric acid patient is its anger. The anger of a nitric acid person is extremely violent, and it is till such an extent where the anger sometimes takes the form of hatred. A nitric acid patient usually develops hatred on people offending them, and for them the most important characteristic of their hatred is that even if the opposite person apologizes to them, they will never forgive the person. And this is why we find nitric acid in the rubric mind hatred unmoved by apologies. Now, these people never forgive the people offending them without taking their revenge. When we talk about nitric acid, these people are extremely obstinate as well as extremely discontented and dissatisfied with everything, even with themselves. This can again be understood with the central theme of the remedy, where these people get extremely angry on themselves when they make mistakes, as that exposes them to various dangers. Another important feature of nitric acid patient is great exhaustion or weakness of mind as well as of body. Because of this desire to make constant efforts, these people very soon get exhausted. Thus, we see nitric acid to be one of the most important remedy in the rubric mind prostration of mind. Now, nitric acid patients are extremely suspicious. They never trust their friends, doctors, or rather anyone. The most important field where we see such kind of suspiciousness is in the field of their health, where they constantly feel that their doctor have not diagnosed them properly, and thus the doctor is not being able to treat them properly, and thus constantly keep on changing their doctors. Now, nitric acid patients are also quite sympathetic in nature, but the main differentiating point over here is that these people are caring and sympathetic only towards their friends or supporters. Thus, these patients face problems when they have fights with their friends, or when they lose their friend, or from nursing their sick friend. So now that we have understood the various mental aspects of the remedy nitric acid, let's try and understand the action of nitric acid on various organs. Nitric acid is an excellent remedy which acts wonderfully on skin, GI tract and in cases of piles. So first let's try and understand the action of nitric acid on GI tract. Now nitric acid is an excellent remedy for various GI troubles like diarrhea, gastric ulcers, etc. The main symptom which is seen in many cases of nitric acid is sticking, splinter-like pricking pain in the abdomen, along with nausea and vomiting. Nitric acid is also an excellent remedy for chronic enlargement of the liver as well as of the spleen, where we usually see symptoms like pain in the right hypochondrium, icterus or clay-colored stools. Now, nitric acid also acts really well in the cases of diarrhea, where the patient has a great desire to pass stools but passes very little quantity at a time. Stools of nitric acid may be stained with blood or mucus and also contain undigested food particles in it, and the patient has violent cutting pain after stools, which lasts for hours after passing stools. Nitric acid is also an excellent remedy and has a great action on skin. Skin of nitric acid patients is usually dry, scaly, with deep cracks and deep fissures. Now, nitric acid is a remedy which has a special affinity for mucocutaneous junctions like lips, corners of mouth, nose, anus, vagina, urethra, etc. At all these places, we see cracks and fissures with severe lancinating splinter like pains. These cracks and fissures bleed easily. Nitric acid is also an excellent remedy for various skin ulcers which have irregular margins and edges, and the base of these ulcers look like a raw flesh with exuberant granulation tissue. These ulcers usually give out brown, offensive, and an acrid discharge. Nitric acid is also a very good remedy for warts, condylomatas, etc., which are large, jagged, or pedunculated, and these warts bleed easily. Now, nitric acid is also an excellent remedy for piles, where the patient has bleeding and protruding piles with splinter like pricking pains in the rectal region. These patients might also pass bright, profuse amounts of blood with violent cutting pains. Now, at the end, let's have a look at the few confirmatory symptoms of nitric acid, which are: the urine of nitric acid patients is very pungent and offensive, and it smells like horse's urine. Next, these patients usually have a craving for fat, undigestible things such as chalk, charcoal, stone, etc., and a great aversion towards meat. These patients usually have a sensation of band around their head, bones, etc., and a splinter like pain in different parts of the body. So, guys, this was all about nitric acid. We hope that this video has helped you to understand this remedy better. If you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and also hit the bell icon to get notified about our content.